Bwrdd a croeso I Cyfarfod y Bwrdd. We're holding this board meeting today to approve the annual report and accounts for 2025 to 2026. Due to the extraordinary nature of the meeting, there is no simultaneous translation service today. Um, this won't be a very long meeting, but I don't want people to think that means we are not providing suitable scrutiny to the annual report and accounts. The Audit Committee has reviewed both the draft accounts and annual report in May. They've also been reviewed by the executive team on numerous occasions throughout the development of the accounts. And the Audit Committee also met again yesterday in an extraordinary meeting to go through the final documents, and they were joined in that meeting by colleagues from Audit Wales and Shared Services Partnership internal audit. So we have had a number of sessions as a board and as committees of the board to scrutinise the accounts and the annual report. So if today's meeting seems like it's quite brief, it is the formality of it that we have to do today, but we have provided sufficient scrutiny to the accounts up to this point over a number of weeks. I've received apologies today from Sam Lloyd, Executive Director of Operations. Other than that, everybody is with us. You may see that we have Rydian Hurl and our independent member Marilyn Bryan Jones are sharing a screen today, so they are in the room together. And we will go for any declarations of interest in relation to the agenda today. I haven't been made aware of any. No. If any become apparent during the meeting, please let me know and we'll deal with it then. So on to the main agenda. I am going to hand over first to Marion Wynne Jones, the chair of our Audit and Assurance Committee, who is going to provide us with feedback on the annual report and accounts following the Audit and Assurance Committee's oversight and scrutiny of the reports. Marion.
Diolch yn fawr, Gadeirydd, a bore da bawb. Good morning, everybody. Well, as chair of the Audit and Assurance Committee, it is my pleasure this morning to present our endorsement of the audited accounts and the annual report for 25-26 for your approval as a board. At an extraordinary meeting yesterday, the committee endorsed also the letter of representation for DHCW to be signed by the Chief Executive and the Chair for submission to Welsh Government. So I'd like to put on record the highly positive feedback from Audit Wales yesterday on both the accounts and the annual report, which is a pleasing position indeed. Namely, a planned, unqualified audit opinion, no significant issues, weaknesses, or uncorrected misstatements, and the positive audit engagement and cooperation from DHCW was also commended. The committee welcomed the healthy position arising from the Head of Internal Audit opinion, and together they provide significant assurance to the committee and indirectly to the SHAA board on DHCW's internal governance arrangements, our risk management and control arrangements, which should be commended. Now, as board members, you'll be aware that DHCW has been in escalation level 3 for major programme delivery throughout the entirety of the last financial year. And as we know, that has since changed to level 4 targeted information in April. So despite the feedback on DHCW's governance, our risk management and system of internal control being reasonable, I'd like to draw the board's attention to the recommendation section of the Head of Internal Audit opinion. And that states that focus should be placed on the agreed response to the one limited assurance opinion issued during the year and the significance of the recommendations made across other audits. You recall there were 9 in total, 1 advisory and 2 non-opinion reviews in 25-26, as well as addressing the implementation of any outstanding recommendations from previous year reviews. However, the opinion is recognising that as DHCW works as part of the wider NHS Wales system, several key findings from the audit were completed rely on other partners and stakeholders for progression and implementation, as they are not fully within DHCW's direct control. Example reviews include GMS Clinical System Migration Project, the Welsh Intensive Care Information Programme, CANISC and Programme Management. In addition, as board members, you will recall that DHCW's last structured assessment included a recommendation that the programme's delivery committee should focus more on DHC's actions to address programme delivery issues that are either within DHCW's direct control or within our ability to influence. So I conclude, therefore, that although the feedback has been largely positive from a governance and internal control perspective, there is still significant work to do to be clear on roles, responsibilities within that wider system, where DHCW fits in within that system, and what authority or control we have as system leaders. Of course, these are all areas that, as a board, we are exploring as part of our escalation response. But I did think that it would be helpful to raise this formally as part of our end-of-year reporting, as it is something that appeared to stand out from the feedback. Now, linked to this, I should also add that the committee very much welcomes Audit Wales's forthcoming digital transformation work, which will focus on the wider NHS system. Now, this is scheduled to be carried out during the course of this year and may be helpful in identifying areas of improvement for DHCW and improve clarity around DHCW's role across the wider digital health system. I can also report the feedback on the annual accounts was excellent, but I'd also just like to highlight two risks identified by Audit Wales within the accounts. Nothing new here. They are risks which board members are well aware of, as they are risks which are being actively monitored. And they are the provisions and contingent liabilities risk arising from the Microsoft VAT issue and the programme's asset balances. So with those comments and reference to those risks, I will bring my introduction to a close. The committee, in its extraordinary committee meeting held yesterday, we endorsed the accounts and the annual report for 25-26 for approval by the board. And it's my pleasure to hand them to you, Chair. Diolch yn fawr iawn.
Diolch, Marian. And yeah, I would like to say, llongyfarchiadau, congratulations to the team. There's been a massive amount of work to go into this, and I think that's been recognised in the feedback there. I think in the wider feedback, Marian, you picked up around our escalation status. I think this bodes well for me that we are able to provide that same level of scrutiny towards our other areas that are within escalation that we can to our accounts. So, hopefully that bodes well for us. It's very pleasing to see the feedback that we've had on the finances. So with that praise ringing in your ears, Chris Morton, I'm going to hand over to you, our interim director of finance. Chris.
Diolch yn fawr, Chair. Thank you, Ruth, and thank you as well to Marian for that really helpful overview. I'm really pleased to be able to present this item. It's been a challenging year for DHCW, and we've had to face some complex issues to deal with, as Marian's highlighted. It's been a challenging period for the finance team too, as well. I was appointed into the interim director of finance position in March at short notice, and I'd just like to put on record my thanks to the executive team and to the board for supporting my swift transition into the role during this period. We've also had some key absences in the finance team. However, I'd say it's great to welcome back Mark Cox into the Associate Director of Finance role, who started back full-time in May. And further, I'd like to extend a particular thanks to Sian Williams, who stepped into the role of Associate Director of Finance to cover for a period of 6 months from November 2025. Throughout this period, we've actually had to cope with quite a bit of additional workload beyond the business as usual, including delivering the baseline review as part of the Welsh Government remit letter and completing the grip and control assessment, which will be going to the audit committee in July. We've had to manage some uncertainty around the funding positions as we've transitioned into the 26-27 period. But overall, I'm really pleased with how the finance team have responded to these challenges and stepped up to deliver on them. In terms of our performance against the statutory financial duties, I'm pleased to report that we've delivered on both of these in 25-26. Firstly, in terms of our break-even duty, DHCW has reported meeting this duty with the accounts presenting a revenue underspend of 0.241 million and a capital underspend of 0.095 million. In terms of the second financial duty to submit an IMTP, we have also completed that duty as well. I think, as Marion updated with regards to the audit of accounts report from Audit Wales, Audit Wales intends to issue an unqualified opinion on the accounts. There were no significant matters to report or no uncorrected misstatements. And actually, Audit Wales are aiming to certify on the 26th of June, which is ahead of the 30th of June deadline. Marion also mentioned a couple of the specific technical points that Audit Wales had a focus on in this year's accounts, and the review included our level 3 escalation status. I hope that the outcome of this audit provides assurance to the SHA board regarding DHCW's financial position as we respond to our level 4 escalation status. And I'd also like to extend my thanks to colleagues across DHCW, as this is a reflection of their hard work throughout 25-26. It's a whole organisational effort to produce the annual accounts. Finally, I'd just like to thank colleagues from Audit Wales, as it has been a smooth process and they've worked collaboratively with my team throughout this work. So just to sum up, the SHA board are asked to approve the annual accounts for DHCW for 25-26, approve the letter of representation for DHCW to be signed by the Chief Executive and Chair, and to note the Audit Wales recommendations and actions. Diolch yn fawr.
Diolch, Chris. Before I seek people's approval for those items, I will just pause and see if anybody has any questions on the accounts. No. Then can I take it we approve the accounts as per Chris's request? Diolch. The approval is there for you, Chris. Thank you very much. Moving on to the annual report now, I'm going to hand over to Chris Darling, who's going to take us through the annual report. Chris.
Diolch, Chair. Yeah, Bwrdd pawb. I'm going to start by thanking colleagues who have been involved in the production of the annual report this year, so led by our Head of Corporate Governance, Laura Tolley, and with significant input from our Head of Performance, Isis. The SHA board is required to submit its 2025-26 annual report published as a single unified document in 3 parts. So this includes the performance report, the accountability report, and the financial statements. The performance report provides information on the entity, its main objectives, strategies, and principal risks it faces. And as Chris and Marion mentioned, it's been a challenging year for DHCW. The annual report has to reflect a fair, balanced, and understandable view of the organisation's activities over the past 12 months, and I believe it does that in an open and a transparent way. The accountability report is designed to meet the key requirements from Welsh Government, and it comprises of the corporate governance report, the remuneration and staff report, and the National Assembly for Wales accountability and audit report. We've been really grateful to receive feedback from Welsh Government colleagues from Audit Wales and from internal audit throughout the process of developing the annual report. This feedback has been incorporated into the final draft that we've had today. In addition, as Marion mentioned earlier, the Audit Committee have had a number of occasions to review and have provided comment and feedback, which has also been incorporated into the annual report as is set out in the papers today. We will now, if the annual report is approved today, we will start working and on the production of an HTML format. So we have a digital format of the annual report as we have done in previous years. The plan would be for the annual report and the accounts to go to the Auditor General on Friday to be laid before the Senate. This will allow us to hold our annual general meeting, our public meeting on Thursday, the 30th of July, to celebrate the work that's been undertaken over the last 12 months and set out within the annual report and identify key learning points in that public board meeting. So I'll just conclude, Chair, by thanking again all those that have been involved in the development of the report, Diolch yn fawr, and it's on for approval today.
Diolch, Chris. I will pause there if people want to come in. Alistair.
Thank you, Chair. I really just wanted to make a broader comment, if I may, that we've all recognized it's been a challenging year. I mean, I guess we need to think really hard when any year has not been challenging, but this one's had particularly difficult challenges for the finance team itself. And I just wanted to reflect that it's a great reflection in them as a team that they've stepped up to the plate, which have been internal challenges as well as external ones. And they've met them full on. And I think it demonstrates there's a strength and depth within the finance team within DHCW that puts us in very good stead indeed. But I'd also just like to express my thanks for the work that's been put in. I'm sure it's been at a personal level for everyone involved, professionally and personally, very challenging. And thank you very much indeed. Great job done.
Diolch, Alistair. I think you speak for the rest of the board when you say that. So thank you very much. Marianne.
Diolch, Chair. I know I referenced the annual report in my comments earlier, but I think it would be remiss of me not to draw attention also to the fact that we were very, very impressed as a committee by the quality of the whole annual report. It's an impressive document indeed. And as Chris referenced, it's a huge team effort to collect and draw all the required information across the organisation into a coherent, easily read document. And I would urge members of the public tuning into our extraordinary board meeting to tune into that report. It's an easy read and reflects well on the efforts of the team that have worked very diligently to bring together what is a very attractive and impressive document. Felly, diolch yn fawr i'r tîm I gyd. Thank you.
Diolch, Marianne. Again, I think the rest of the board would echo those comments. Thank you very much. If there are no further comments, can I seek your approval for the annual report? Diolch yn fawr. I think that might be it. I haven't been notified of any other urgent business. Speak now. Nope. As Chris said, our next meeting will be on the 30th of July, and that will be our board meeting followed by our annual general meeting. So please do tune in if you want to ask any questions of us about that annual report document or anything else, then please do so. Finally, I just want to echo the thanks that have already been made to colleagues involved in the production and development of the annual report and accounts, another significant milestone for the organisation. So on behalf of all of us, diolch yn fawr iawn, and we will see you next time. Diolch.